Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena. I'm the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on the channel, we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking, all the things in between. I'm on the chair, but it's like rickety and shakes, and it's not supposed to. So sorry if you hear some squeaking in the background. I wanted to just really quick kind of go over what is sort of to be read this month, even though we're like probably halfway through the month. It's going to be probably a to be read for the rest of the year. We're looking at those kinds of things. So first up, actually right here behind me, goodness, this book I started last November. My goal is to finish it by this November. Like, I started this Thanksgiving Day of last year. So, I mean, if it only takes me 1 year to read it, right? And I don't even know why I won't DNF this book. I think because so many people speak so highly of it, and they're like, it changed my life. It's just so fantastic. And it is pretty good. The first bits that I got through, I was really reading it and getting into it. And then I don't know, I just kind of fell off and couldn't seem to finish it. I am a little more than halfway through. I don't know why my marker's there when really I am here. I am on page 150, and in my copy, oh my gosh, I'm more than halfway through because it looks like there are 264 pages. So really, what is that? 151, math, 110, 60, 164, 164 pages left. That's all I have of this book. So my goal is to read the last 164 pages before this Thanksgiving. The other thing that I really want to do is on Storygraph. I'm not on Goodreads. I am on Storygraph. I usually leave that my handle down below if you ever want to be friends on there. So if you're on Storygraph, that's where my reading is. But I have joined, I think, 1 year-long reading goal, or reading challenge. That's the word that I want to say. I'm looking down because I'm just pulling it up on my phone here. But my reading challenges for the year. So actually there were 2. There was the Harry Potter 2023 challenge, and then Hey Chantel, or Hey Reader, Chantel Reads All Day, hers. That one I fell off the wagon way back when. I didn't continue on with that one. So that one I think I'm just gonna have to let go. But the Harry Potter 2023 challenge, I am almost done with that. I'm 88% through. It says I have completed 22 prompts out of the 25. And so the only ones that I have left are Fred and George Weasley read a book whose title begins with the first letter of your name. My name is Elena, like I mentioned. It starts with an E, and I was really having trouble finding a book that starts with an E. So what I put down for my prompt was Emma, which I also have on the shelf here. So Emma by Jane Austen. I thought this would be a good read, and then this was part of a book collection that I received. I think I got it for Mother's Day from my family. I really loved it. It was at Costco and I really wanted it. I just thought they were adorable. So I wanted to read this one because this is what that movie Clueless, I believe, was based off of. It was like a retelling of Emma. And so I like the movie Clueless, and I thought this would be a fun read, but I've yet to pick it up. Classics take me a little bit of time because I really want to soak it in and make sure that I'm fully understanding. So I don't know if that doesn't make me sound like the brightest, but classics take me a little bit of time. But this is one that I want to finish before the end of the year is up. And then another one is prompt 19. It's called Molly Weasley, read a book that features a mother-daughter relationship, a book about your mom, or a book your mom gifted you, or a book that reminds you of your mom. So I don't really have, okay, one day I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to have like an outline for a video, and it's going to be so professional because I'm going to have all my stuff ready. But today's not that day. So the book that I put for that prompt is this one, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. My mom actually sent this to me. This is her copy of the book. She asked if I had read it, and when I told her I didn't, she was mailing out a gift box to us. Oh gosh, this might have even been from last year. But she said, I'll send it over and then you can read it and send it back and let me know what you think. So this is the book that I have for that prompt. And then I think, let's start putting them here. Yes, I just have one more book for that prompt, and then I completed the challenge. Arthur Weasley, this is prompt 24 if you're keeping up. Read a book that teaches you something. So I went ahead and added Atomic Habits to that book, thinking that it would like stir me on. Is stir the right word? Spur? Maybe it's spur. goodness, thinking it would help, you know, no, gosh, the words, thinking it would help me want to read this book a little bit more, thinking it would help me want to finish this book more. So actually, I felt like I had more books to finish that prompt, but I guess not. I just have the 3. So these I want to finish for that year-long reading plan. The other thing that I am currently in the middle of reading is, so this is not a e-reader. This is actually just an old tablet for my kids, and I wiped everything as much as I could from here, and then I put in like Hoopla and Libby, which are the library apps that we have. So I added them to this, and currently on Hoopla, I am reading Hearts in Harmony by Beth Wiseman, and that is because I was looking on my shelf for my next read. I wanted something just kind of to escape, something to get, I really wanted a feel-good book. And so a lot of Amish reads have done that for me, where there is, you know, of course, faith woven in here, and then just feel-good books, I feel like. So I have picked this one up. I bought this actually, I think, from our local Dollar Tree, and this actually is the second book in the series. Hearts in Harmony is the first one. So when I picked this one up and I saw that it was the second in the series, I checked our library apps, and Hoopla had the first one. So I'm reading the first one so that I can get to this second one. And then I think lastly for this year, I'm so excited for this, but let's switch locations. You need to be. I'm going to reread the Harry Potter series. So I'm super excited for this one. I have been wanting to reread these books for a long time, but I've really wanted to do maybe like a buddy read, to have someone else to talk with and just read through the books and you know, talk about them as we reread them or read them for the first time. Although I don't know many people who haven't read it yet, but everybody in my family, so I asked my son, I asked my husband, and both of them have not read these books, so they would be readers for the first time of these books. But both of them said, no thanks. My husband said he'll stick to watching the movies with me, and my son said he just didn't have an interest in them. So, okay, but Ro from the TBR Tackle, I believe, is going to host a read along, but they are taking it one book at a time, I think. And I'm excited to have somebody to reread them with and read. I don't know if there's anybody in there that's reading it for the first time, but I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I can contain myself to just one book per month. We'll see. Normally what happens is once I start diving into a world, like especially a series, I want to keep reading it, and I will go one right after another. So I'm gonna have to really like pace myself to not read them all in, you know, a couple of months instead of like one book per month. But this is also something that I'm super excited and hope we get to do this. Well, it'll be longer than the end of this year. Sorry, was that confusing enough for you? It's probably clear as mud. So I'll be starting to reread these books. Okay, I decided to take a seat. And then lastly, I really want to get to this book, The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. I have been wanting to read this book actually for a few years now, and I haven't made it a priority. But this book I am going to try to read along with my oldest son. I ended up having 2 copies of this. I think I know exactly what happened. I bought a smaller copy, and the words were so tiny for me that I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to. I was going to say I don't think I'll be able to read this book with this tiny print. I could do it. I could have. But I found another slightly larger copy at the used bookstore, and so I picked it up, and then I think I found another copy at our local library, like Friends of the Library, and so I picked that one up too, not remembering that I already got one this size. So now we have 2 this size. So I told my oldest son, who is 16, if he wanted to read this along with me, and he said yes. And then I know there is a movie. I believe there was a movie made about this, and so my husband said he joined us along with that. Although he may read along with us too. So I want to read this as well. If you're not familiar with what this is, very, very loosely, this is a story of Lee Strobel, with a Master of Studies in Law degree from Yale Law School, was an award-winning journalist at the Chicago Tribune. Today, this former spiritual skeptic is a teaching pastor at Willow Creek Community Church near Chicago. So this is a story, I believe, of how he set out to prove to his wife that Christ was not real, that Jesus was not the Messiah, and that these stories were kind of embellished or maybe even fabricated. And so in his quest to do that and to find facts to show this to her, he becomes a believer. And I don't know, I've been wanting to read it for a while. Here on the front, it says, a journalist's personal investigation of the evidence for Jesus. So I really wanted to read this, and I'm really glad that my son wants to reread it with me. I think we said we would start reading this in November, but I'm going to see if maybe he wants to start it sooner with me. I think we haven't really set out a timeline of how much to have read by when, but I think we will do that. Let me know if you want to read along with us. Maybe we can open up a Discord group or something, and if you want to read this along, we can just put our thoughts in chapter by chapter. It looks like maybe there's 14 chapters, 14 and a conclusion in our copy. So yeah, maybe we can read 1 or 2 chapters every week and just chat about it. Let me know in the comments if you want to do this, but I really want to get this read as well. And I think that is it, concrete, what I want to get done. We are constantly going to the library, and I keep seeing a lot of good books. I will flash up some pictures for you possibly. The last trip I took to the library with my son, there were so many books that I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and so does this, and I want to check this out. But I didn't want to bring home half the library with me, and I wanted to leave some for other people to read too, right? So I just took a couple of pictures of the book so that I would remember that this was something that I wanted to check out. So those will be peppered in as well. And of course, as I continue to listen and hear what other people are reading, I always find other amazing books that I would like to read as well. But I just wanted to pop on and share with you a couple of books that I'm looking forward to reading, and what I don't know what that was, but also share with you how my reading challenge for the year was going. Clearly, I kind of fell off the wagon with the Hey Reader one, but I'm going to finish the 2023 Harry Potter one, and then I guess just check in with reading challenges and what I'm hoping to read by the end of the year. If you have book suggestions for me, leave them down below, or if you've read any of these books that I've read, let me know in the comments, or just let me know what you're reading, because like I said, I'm always curious, always want to know what's out there, and what we should be reading. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you taking your time out and spending it here with me. And as always, if you don't know, or you just need to be reminded, may I be the one to tell you that you are deeply and truly loved and so appreciated. Again, I appreciate you taking your time out and spending it here with me. Thanks for